Usually we start these videos with high energy. We start with the business, but today we have to start with the silence. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hype up the video. We're talking about disaster. We're talking about killings. We're talking about thrillings. We're talking about delays. We're talking about cancellations. We're talking about double deaths. We're talking about losses. We're talking about a hell of a lot during this WWE news, WWE rumors, and the wrestling headlines, the breaking news that I bring to you right here on the Brash and the Bravest because we serve it up to you. Remember to hype, like, and become a channel member. If you want me to save and secure my future, become a channel member today or donate with a super thanks donation in the comment section. Now, I need you to stop scrolling and I need you to listen right now because coming out of California, the wrestling world has just lost not only a wrestler, but a son. And his mother, not just a son, but a mother, were executed in a double homicide. Perhaps one of the saddest events since the Chris Benoit travesty. Police are calling it a targeted attack. The suspect is in custody, and the timeline is absolutely tragic. We are going to cover the facts out of respect right at the top of the video. Also, we got massive updates on Monday Night Raw, AJ Styles, Britt Baker. We're going to cover a lot, and we're going to do it right here and right now on the unapologetic Brash and Brazen. But while the tragedy is unfolding in the real world, the corporate world of WWE is facing a logistical and legal nightmare that I haven't seen, quite frankly, since 2015. As we all know, most of the United States is going to be blanketed with snow. Not just snow, a blizzard. It is going to be a damn blizzard-like conditions. Now, I don't know how much longer I'm going to have power. I don't know how much longer my internet is going to stay on, but I'm going to stay with this as long as I can because I work with the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers to make this what it is, the foundation of Sean's View Entertainment. Now, it's going to be Raw could be frozen due to this blizzard. But not just that. A massive blizzard has grounded flights. Raw is officially on a skeleton crew alert. We are looking at a potential ghost show on Raw tomorrow night on Netflix on Monday. Now, we're going into phase 2 of this. The courtroom. Jasmine St. Clair just went on record claiming that Janel Grant is not a victim. We need to talk about the legal definition and why this statement is a PR disaster for TKO. And 3, Becky Lynch in Chicago. Becky Lynch is reportedly blowing the whistle on fake crowd noise. Is WWE piping in cheers for CM Punk to force a narrative? I have all the analytics and I have all the specifics. Murder, blizzards, lawsuits, and conspiracies. That's what we're going to cover during this very in-depth Sean's View Entertainment, where it will not be a mystery at the end of this episode. Now, this isn't just a news update. This is Protocol 35. We are going for a long time tonight. No edits, no fluff, just the receipts. And if you're here for surface level gossip, you got the wrong damn channel. If you want the hits, if you want the latest, the greatest, the newest, the most definitive, the most in-depth, the most thorough, you're going to get it right here on the Brash and the Brazen by design. Now, again, I'm going to come with you as the investigative journalist that I am. Let's start this thing off in California, okay? Because the wrestling business isn't just about billionaire contracts. It's about the guys on the ground grinding for a spot. And even Evan Simonds, known the world over as Lars Luger, not to be confused with Lex Luger, Lars Luger of the independent wrestling scene was one of those guys. Now I'm looking over my papers here. All right, yeah, I got my notes. Now, here is the police timeline, viewers. The police timeline from California, late night, February the 19th. It's just coming out now. Police respond to a frantic call. When they arrive, they find a nightmare scenario. 2 victims, Evan Simonds and his mother. Now, usually when we hear about the violence in the industry, we think bar fight or workplace dispute. This was not that. This was cold. This was calculated. And the police department is explicitly calling this a targeted attack. That phrase matters. That means that this wasn't random. Someone came looking for them. Now the suspect, viewers, did not get far. We're in the middle of a massive blizzard, massive snowstorm right now. but we're also in the midst of a major report. Again, the suspect didn't get far, and this is where technology steps in. They were caught using what they call ALPR, automated license plate readers. And within hours, they tracked the vehicle to a neighboring city. The suspect is in custody after the killing of the mother and the wrestler. But the question everyone in NorCal wrestling scene is asking, why? Even with a staple of the West Coast indie scene, APW, if you know the Bay Area wrestling circuit, you know Lars Luger. He was 6'4", built like a tank, but by all accounts, a gentle giant backstage. Now, of course, we don't have the full motive yet, and I am not going to speculate on a murder investigation of this professional wrestler for clicks. But when a mother and son are taken out like this, it shakes the foundation of the entire professional wrestling community. We are sending our thoughts to the family, and as soon as the court dates are set, I will update you on the legal proceedings. Let's make no mistake about it, viewers, fans, and subscribers. Make no mistake about it, life is absolutely fragile. But the business is absolutely relentless. And right now, the WWE is dealing with a situation where the show might literally not go on. Let's talk about the blizzard. Okay, let's address the white elephant in the room, so to speak. Now, if you are in Atlanta or trying to get into Atlanta, especially if you're from New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island area, if you're from the Northeast area and you're trying to get to Atlanta, good luck. You know what I'm talking about. A historic blizzard has grounded flights across the US of A. And tonight, going into tomorrow night, it is going to be very volatile. It is going to be very much on the edge whether or not Monday Night Raw is actually going to happen due to this historic blizzard that is trapping much of the Northeast. Now, the A-team is stuck in transit. We have reports that main eventers are currently sitting in airport lounges in Charlotte and Nashville, unable to get to the area where they need to for Monday Night Raw. Again, the script is being voided as we speak. You cannot run a script for talent that isn't in the building. Triple H and the creative team are reportedly rewriting the show on the fly. This is 2015 all over again. Now, do you remember, viewers, fans, and subscribers, do you remember the snowed-out edition of Raw from Hartford about 10 years ago when they showed just replays and interviews from WWE HQ? We might be looking at a hybrid version of that. Sources say that WWE is preparing for filler packages and extended promo segments for the talent that did make the town. Now, the phrase being used backstage is skeleton crew. That means local talent, NXT call-ups who are driving within driving distance, and the few stars who travel by bus. If you're watching Raw tomorrow night, expect chaos, expect moments, expect unscripted things to go down, and honestly, those are usually the best shows. But while the weather is freezing the show and could be canceling Monday Night Raw due to this horrible weather, the courtroom is absolutely heating up. We got to get into the logistics, the analytics. Jasmine went on record. She didn't mince words. She said the quote, "She is not a victim." Now, pause. Before you react, let's look at the legal implications of a statement like that coming from a woman in the industry. Jasmine is arguing the differences between transaction and, well, we can't even say this other word because I don't want to be, flagged. But this is the core of the defense strategy that we are seeing bubble up. The argument that if you signed the NDA and you took the money and you stayed employed, or was it just a bad deal? Now, I'm not here to judge the morality. I'm here to judge the liability. TKO is trying to settle this. They want this going. But when you have former talent coming out and publicly challenging the victim narrative, it muddles the waters. It muddies the waters, and it gives the defense ammunition. Now, is Jasmine right? Now, I'm talking about the whole WWE lawsuit, and I think we all know what we're talking about, the whole WWE Vince McMahon lawsuit. And Jasmine is now speaking out about it. But that's for the court to decide if Jasmine is right. That's for the court to decide. But her speaking out changes the public perception. It splits the fan base. And for the TKO stock, uncertainty is the enemy. Now let's get to Chicago, the Elimination Chamber. Let's talk about Becky Lynch because the man is apparently hearing voices, or rather, she's hearing fake voices. There are reports circulating that Becky has accused WWE production of piping in crowd noise, specifically piping in cheers for CM Punk and boos for her. We now know this. We know that the WWE does do this from time to time. The Thunderdome hangover. I remember the Thunderdome ever during the pandemic, during COVID. WWE got addicted to the sweetening button during the pandemic. But a top star to call it out, that is violation of the unspoken rule. If, and that is a big if because this is coming from Becky Lynch. She's trying to elicit heat here. If WWE is manufacturing reactions, they are manipulating you. They are telling you who to like. And Becky Lynch knows that if the audio mix is against her, her contract leverage drops. This isn't just vanity. This is about money. This is absolutely crucial. And speaking of money, what about contract, viewers? Oh, what about contracts? Well, we're going to get into that right now and right here. As Britt Baker, DMD, she just locked in a multi-year extension with AEW, a contract lockdown, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the news. Now, remember, all news and rumors are always subject to change right here on this very episode. Now, this kills the WWE rumors for right now about Britt Baker coming back to the WWE. She is staying loyal to Tony Khan and AEW at this time, but that could change. And with Mercedes Moné in the mix, the women's division in AEW is now the highest paid locker room in history. Now, right here on SeanzView, just up to this point right now, up to this point alone, we have covered a murder, a blizzard, a lawsuit, a conspiracy, and a contract. That is the state of the business in 2026. It is messy, it is dangerous, and it is absolutely expensive. I will be monitoring the Raw situation all day tomorrow and all going into Raw as we will be paying homage and respect to the great AJ Styles, who the WWE will be paying respects to as it concerns his career that spanned TNA, WCW, WWE, AJ Styles, won it all and done it all. He did it all for the business. And don't believe the noise until you check the receipts, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you about a receipt, because this is another big story. Tiffany Stratton, for those of you that wanted to date, wanted to go out, that wanted to have Tiffany Stratton as your girlfriend, I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen, because according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters at this hour, Tiffany Stratton makes romance Instagram official with NXT star. Yes, Tiffany Stratton makes her romance Instagram official with NXT star. Jada Parker injury situation clarified after major NXT announcement. Also, a name change confirmed for NXT talent at a recent event. Also, Eric Bischoff accuses Dave Meltzer of flat-out lying over anti-ice Brody King claim. Also, in addition to former WWE champion Jinder Mahal being backstage, 2 other names have been spotted backstage at NWA Power tapings in Tampa. Big E, the former WWE champion who pretty much says he's retired and will never wrestle again, which is very sad and very unfortunate. Big E says that the New Day revenge angle was discussed before WWE retirement. Also, we are receiving word right now that Jackie Redmond hints at taking Twitter break after Olympics interviews get pulled. Also, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Thunder Rosa addresses hateful messages targeting her identity after her AEW Collision return. Also, possible AEW Revolution 2026 matches revealed, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters. Also, Black Delea declares her love for ring girls with a steamy club photo. Also, Becky Lynch claims that Chicago loves her more than Puny Phil in an explosive rant. With WWE Raw being hit with massive weather delays ahead of their Atlanta show, could WWE Monday Night Raw be forced to pivot to another arena? Brock Lesnar trends after Janel Grant statement as WWE pushes Raw return for the Beast Incarnate. Also, Blake Monroe reveals why she chose WWE over staying in AEW ultimately. Also, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Matt Hardy questions high WrestleMania 42 prices as sales trail last year's Vegas numbers. Also, the internal WWE reaction. This is a big one. This is a big headline. The internal WWE reaction to the Epstein file release revealed amid Vince McMahon speculation. Vince Russo addresses heat with JBL speculation. A new match has been revealed for the February 23rd Monday Night Raw tomorrow on Netflix. That is, again, if Raw actually is going to happen. That is if Raw is actually going to go down. Also, Blake Monroe reveals why she's not rushing WWE main roster call-up, and Blake Monroe finally addresses Thea Heel botch finish for the NXT Championship chaos. Samantha Irvin seemingly endorses tweet that called Triple H an insecure moron, and badass construction worker doubles down with profane Instagram rant at wrestling fans. Izzy Dame declares herself the it girl with a beach bikini title photo. Eric Bischoff says that Ronda Rousey should have never been a babyface during her WWE run. And speculation is growing and brewing that WBD could own as much as 25% of AEW. Will that change things for AEW in the long run? Also, Blake Monroe explains why she's not rushing WWE main roster call-up. And Nikki Bella draws crowd at a Tops Rip Night in California as card collectors swarm DVY cards. And ladies and gentlemen, that is just scratching the edge of the surface because we have plenty more to come. We have plenty more to talk about. A lot more topics, a lot more headlines, a lot more breaking news. We're going to settle you in because if it weren't for you, there would be no SeanzView on the unapologetic, brash, and brazen. And we're just brewing it up for you right now because we truly do believe in the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers and the suppliers of this show. And if you're not down with me, there's two things you can do about it. Nothing and like it. Subscribe.